Road, and says address the possibility of extending the right-of-way and lowering the poles to rebuild P1. Always a possibility. We can't extend any right-of-way there. It's narrow enough as it is. Our scenic easements go out about 350 feet from the edge of the right-of-way in many locations. We've spent anywhere between state and federal dollars in the millions of dollars for those scenic easements, and they're all along the Great River Road within Wisconsin. Wisconsin's part of the 10-state consortium with the Great River Road. And we're kind of hemmed in, if you will, between statutes. We got the siting statute, which Tom referred to. We have an obligation under Chapter 14 to work with the Great River Road, like all state agencies do, and do the best we can to preserve it. There's also a federal statute that says that above-ground utility lines should be kept out of scenic areas and viewsheds to the best of the ability if there are other options available. So we're trying to work with the Public Service Commission and Excel and the Great River Road Commission and everybody to try to come up with the best solution here. So again, that's another reason why Highway 88 was under study. We understand it's also a pretty route. There's also a lot of other significant features for it. But again, it's something that we felt that the Commission released should be studied, that it should be in the draft environmental impact statement to make sure that all of the environmental features, in fact, the person says there are 4 different conservancies that would be developed or discovered by the route. So one thing you should know that there are no scenic easements, even though it is scenic in some places, there are no purchased scenic easements on that route. We purchased them on the Great River Road to preserve it.
I got the larger decision.
And again, if you want more clarification, I'll be here after the meeting as well.
It's incredible. And then directly upload from this.
There are several more questions about possible routes. The first one's pretty generic. Why not follow I-90?
We did study routes along I-90 during the beginning phases of our route studies. In fact, we had 3 potential river crossings that we were studying up to about a year and a half ago, and those were at Alma and Winona and La Crosse. And the Mississippi River itself was a very crucial spot to figure out where we could cross, and that required us to work with Fish and Wildlife Service and study all the routes leading to and from those 3 river crossings. And we did that. We fully developed routes to and from each of those river crossings. We went through a similar process of showing potential routes to people and to agencies and getting feedback. And through that study and through that feedback, what we found was that there were significant problems with the I-90 route. First of all, in Rochester, you can't route a line along 52 in Rochester. There's not enough room. You can go around Rochester, though, and we did study that. And then down to I-90, and then we ran into problems on the Minnesota side of the La Crosse crossing through the hilly area in Minnesota. There wasn't any good routes leading up to that La Crosse crossing in Minnesota. And then once you got into Wisconsin, that route brought you right into the heart of La Crosse. And the only spot where we could end that line is at a substation. And the existing substation is surrounded by wetlands on 3 sides, and the project would have to expand that substation in La Crosse to the tune of about 5 acres. And we heard loud and clear from the DNR and the Corps of Engineers that you can't do that. So that I-90 corridor turned out to not even be feasible, and the Winona crossing had similar problems. And what we found is that any way we measured it, the Alma crossing was the Superior River crossing, and that allowed the agencies and us to focus on that Alma crossing as a single endpoint for both of the state's processes.
It costs more than twice as much. You have to get a line.
Why would CapEx 2020 consider extending the high voltage 345 kV line south of Bridge Substation? This would expose residential areas and schools to high voltage power. There's limited growth in Onalaska and La Crosse area. And Cell's preferred route in the Holmen area? And will there be a step down a voltage south of Briggs substation?